I'm Levi LaVallee, and welcome to my dream. I believe you can have anything in life if you just want it bad enough. Now grab your helmet and let's get to living. Snowmobiling started with my family when I was 7 years old, Indy 400, and that was my first snowmobile. And all the memories that that one sled made for me started the passion that is my life now. When I was 12 years old, my dad said, hey, there's a local race about a half hour from us. Do you want to go try it? And I said, yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to try it, right? And it was literally a cross-country race out on the lake, and we went there, and I remember it. That was the start of racing for me. You know, I turned 14, and my dad said, do you want to go to Duluth and race snowcross? And I'm thinking, that's the big time, man, because at that point, we had already been up to Duluth and watched the Duluth Nationals a couple times. We went to Hill City and watched them. And I'm like, that's where all the big guys are. Like, I'm not qualified to race there yet. So we ended up signing up for Duluth, and I was so nervous going up to that first year. I remember I was up all night before the race, throwing up, just sick to my stomach, just so nervous. And we get to the race, and I end up making it into the junior 14-15 final and finished in 4th place. And I was like, awesome. I made it through, right? So then we were hooked. So then the next year, we did about 50-50 snowcross, cross country. And then after that, it was all snowcross from that point forward. Snowcross is what groomed me to become the snowmobiler that I am now. And it allowed us to accomplish these other things, from distance jumps to freestyle medals and all the other things like that. But it all started from that snowcross racing, wanting to become the best you could be in snowcross, and just constantly eat, sleep, and breathing. How do I get faster? How do I get smoother? How do I do these different things? And you know, that's what snowcross did for me, and I'm so thankful for that. Is we made it to the pro class, which was my childhood dream, you know, to become a professional snowmobile racer. And then the next goal was to win a pro race, and then eventually a championship. And the cool thing was that we were able to achieve those big milestones. The event that really stands out to me is like when we did the double flip. It was a task. You're trying to do something that's never been done, right? So it's not like you go online and Google how to do a double backflip. Like, no one's ever even thought of that on a snowmobile, right? So I'm looking at ramps. I'm like, well, I've got a kicker ramp. We can elevate that. I kind of had a plan how we were going to do it. But the thing that was interesting about that is I was so bound and determined to figure out how to do it. So we start propping the ramp up higher and higher, and eventually I'm like, we need more angles. So we like literally put a hinge in the middle of the ramp and kinked it so that the top half of it was really steep. And you slam into it, and like, knowing what I know now about ramps, it was like the worst setup you could have for a ramp, but it would shoot me up high enough, right? So we keep practicing, and X Games, and I just remember telling myself, I'm not short in this one. And I overshot the landing by a mile, and I landed way down on the bottom of that landing. So I was claiming it then. I was like, man, we did it, I'm alive, things are well. The thing that I took from the double flip was that was the hardest, or the furthest I'd ever pushed myself, and that was the most fear I've ever had in my life. Because I was like, I remember going into it, and I literally felt like I was rolling the dice. I'm like, this is either gonna work, or this is gonna be really, really bad. And after getting through that, it gave me so much confidence. I was like, man, I can do anything. And before long, it was distance jumps, and it was St. Paul and Super Bowl backflip, all these other things, but it all kind of started from that double backflip. What's been really fun, you know, as I go through this snowmobiling journey from a kid to, you know, to riding with my family, to racing, to snowcross, to freestyle, to distance jumps, you know, all these things. You know, for a while I was just so into competing and chasing these goals, these different things, that I went away from just riding. It was just all competition. It was either a competition or a project that we're working on. And the beautiful thing now is it's come full circle, and I'm right back to riding my snowmobile. And the joy I get going out and riding around home and riding those same spots, the same ditches, the same trails, the places that I grew up riding, that like started this whole passion, this whole dream. It's like I appreciate that stuff so much more now, because I'm like, man, this is so special, because this is what started all of these incredible things that we've been able to accomplish. All started from hitting these road approaches around town and jumping these snowbanks. I always remind myself of that, and it makes me appreciate that ride even more. This is my passion, and this is where it started. All right, I stopped here because from that ridge to this ridge over here, this hill, is 200 feet. Me and my buddy, when we were kids, we measured it, because I always dreamt, and like, wouldn't that be insane to jump over that huge hill like that? And it's funny now looking back and thinking that's only half as far as I jumped on New Year's Eve. I just tell all the kids and stuff, it's like, it doesn't matter what sled you have, what gear you have, if you have the best or the worst, it doesn't matter. As long as you're out there riding, like, you can have fun on any snowmobile. You know, today we were able to get into some really fun spots to ride, and there was some good snow. But I remember as a kid, they'd be all tracked out, just a complete mess, and I was still having just as much fun. Whether it was pounding through the bumps or hitting road approaches, whatever it was, I was just making the best out of what we had. And now everyone is like, they feel they need to have the ideal setup, otherwise they're missing out on this experience. And I always think about, like, man, some of the best memories I've had has been on the less than ideal, you know, and getting out with your friends or family and going out riding and having fun, whether it's a rough trail, good snow, bad snow. You know, it's all gonna end up fun. It's all in how you look at it. And if you go into it with, this is gonna be a good day, that's exactly what it'll be. You just gotta always tell yourself, every day, it's gonna be a good day. Like, if I'm all in on whatever I'm doing, I get the best result, I have the most fun, and you know, that's the thing. It's just, if you're gonna do something, go wide open at it. Go 100% and do anything and everything you can to do it the best possible, and you're gonna get the best outcome that way.